Okay, let's start with current positions, yesterday's trades, and the watch list for today. So this call, I've been in this thing since 6:55, as you know, and today it just woke up and made a decent move, about 25% or so, and it looks like it's gapping up in after hours, close to $9. So I sold about 20% of my shares. I had a small position to begin with because it's a pretty thin stock usually, so I didn't want to get stuck with size on a thin name. But again, yesterday volume came in and made a big move. And as I said before, I think this thing can go to 10, 12 or something. So I'll keep selling on the way up. ICHR, I've been talking about this potential breakout for a while now. I added another small 1,000 shares. That's the $16 area when I saw volume coming in, and it had a range expansion. And again, if this was more liquid, I would be doing much more size on this thing, but it just trades like 100,000 shares on average or something like that. And I think this thing can go to 18, 20. Why not? I'm already up like 40, almost 50% of my initial position. So, and it's a very fast growing name, so this thing can really go. It could be like Asia last year. It just made an enormous move. Recent IPO with enormous earnings. EPRI, bought it in the high 250s. I saw some volume coming in. This has been on my watch list for a while now. And then it ripped, and I decided to, I didn't sell anything on this rip. I saw all these names go crazy, this Naked and the PULM, and they were all up like 50% plus, and I thought this thing could go to 320, 350 or something, but then it started like fading. I decided to add a little bit of shares on support, but support didn't help, so it crapped out, and after being up a couple of grand on it, I was down a couple of grand on it, so I sold some on pops, and I still have about less than half of my size overnight, because if you look at a 60-minute chart, it kind of bounced off this support. So I'm gonna use a very tight stop on the rest of the shares. I'm gonna use this low 250s. Either it goes or it doesn't, because I still think it could go. It's putting in higher lows. It's a nice little flag. It's just like PULM looked like a couple of weeks ago down here. Higher lows and a range break. Now, I'm not saying this APRI will do something like PULM did, but I would be happy with a 350 push. PTLA, I've been long since 2650. Woke up today. This one has some really good earnings. A little bit of a turnaround situation here. It's been a bit beaten down. They've been losing money for the past multiple years, and yesterday after hours the earnings were pretty good. The guidance was just very, very good. So let's look at it. So as you can see, they've been losing money for, as you can see here, for many, many years, and now they had their first profitable quarter in I don't know how many years, and the revenue guidance is just crazy good. For next quarter, they expect the revenue come in at 22 to 23 million. And if you look at the last year's Q1, the revenue was 11.2 million. So 22 to 23 million, that's 100% revenue growth year over year. So I don't know what the EPS will be, but my guess is it's probably going to be more than 10 cents. Way more than 10 cents, maybe even 15. I don't know. So this thing can get going. This thing can really, really get going. Why can't it go back to $5-6 or something? So I bought tiny amount of shares, 370 after hours. And we'll see, I may add today, maybe I'll double, triple that position. But the problem is, it's another thin stock. So even if it trades a lot of shares, like, I don't know, 5 million shares or something like that today, it can very easily go back to be trading only a couple of 100,000 shares in a few days. So it's kind of hard to buy any size of this thing. But, I'm willing to hold this thing for a big move. My risk is gonna be like, I don't know, 350 area, probably 350 area, because this is the range here. It shouldn't lose this 350 area. So my risk is really like 20 cents to potentially make $1, $2, $3, who knows? This thing can go. GGB saw some strength in steel names, most notably US Steel, and there was another, this is a Latin American steel stock, and there was another Latin American steel stock having a strong day yesterday. So I bought some at the opening range highs, but closed kind of weak, so I sized down a little bit. There was really no volume either, so not really excited about this one. I'm probably going to use this 4 or 3.99 as my stop. Twilio, this one is annoying. So I got stopped out yesterday. Then I got back in, as you know, later in the day. And I got stopped out of the gate on that position because, as you know, my stop was here 29.62, 29.63 range. And where did the stock trade? 29.62. I had a stop order at 29.63, so it was probably my order pushing it down from 63 to 62 cents, and then it was straight up from there. But I did get back in when the stock went green on the day, and it tried to retake this 50-day, and then it just got sold off the rest of the day and started gapping down in after hours. So I'm probably gonna use this same area as my stop again. This thing should have gone. I've given it so many chances. I'm just getting tired of it. CNX, I was very close getting stopped out, maybe like less than 10 cents from getting stopped out, but then it faded back late day a little bit, and now it has a little bit of range here at 1505 area, so I'll probably double or triple my position if this thing breaks this 1505 area. FNMA, so Mnuchin passed the Senate vote for Secretary of Treasury, and I think FNMA could pop on that because Mnuchin is very good for FNMA shareholders. EMES just going sideways. Again, my stop is here, high 1680s. Let's look at the short watch list for today. TNX had a big bottom bounce here and up over 100% from the lows. I think if it can push to like 120s or something today, could be a good mean reversion candidate. Very liquid, so this is something you can risk like 3-5 cents to potentially make 20-30 cents and do some decent size. AMC starting to stoke this one. It's ultra illiquid, but if it can get up to like 120, 150 and get 100,000 in volume or something, that would be interesting. I did short it on this day here, and here it actually had like almost 300,000 in volume, and it had a big move intraday at like a $20 move intraday. So even with a small 1,000 shares, you can make a lot of money or lose a lot of money. So the volume really needs to pick up. Otherwise, I won't be interested. If it goes like 120 or something like that with this kind of volume, I won't trade it. PNAT waking up. As you know, I had big trades on these 2 days. On this one, it's a pure pump. If it can extend to 450, I'll be interested in shorting this one. Wins, another pump promotion kind of a name. Very high priced. Again, volume is very low, but I was hoping for this one to go to like 1,000 or something, but there was some Seeking Alpha hit piece coming out and it's faded, and I'm just putting it in another watch list. I'll probably look back a few days from now and see if it has gone higher. This one, nah, there's nothing here yet. AMD close kind of weak. I would have preferred a stronger close and then push out of the gate to 13 plus, but right now probably nothing I'm gonna look at out of the gate. This is just on watch. There's nothing here yet. I'm thinking maybe a range break to the downside could mean a revert to the base, but needs to get tighter. Tesla, same thing. CNX I already talked about. REN, nah, nothing here. Cara was a big miss today. I had this, yesterday. I had it on watch at the open, but it just tanked out of the gate, and I took it off radar. I was so busy with other names. Then I looked back, it was here, high 16s. I'm like, okay, hopefully this thing takes out previous day's highs, goes to like 1750, 18. Then I looked back again, this thing was in the like mid 15s, and I just totally missed this one. There was opportunity on the short side, but I wasn't focused at all on it. Long watch list, again, it's very long. This thing had some decent earnings. I may buy it if it takes out yesterday's highs. I haven't decided yet. This thing, good earnings. It can go higher. Orex, again, just watching this one. I'm happy it didn't break out today. It's just, hopefully it can go sideways another couple of days. But this 365 range break is of interest. So I'm just looking at these for potential breakouts on volume. This one has super earnings. They had some crazy good guidance. I'm hoping this thing can go sideways for at least another couple of days and then potentially buy it. So this LGCY broke down from my breakout buy, but it's still holding the 50-day, and ideally it goes sideways for a few more days and then breaks out again. And I won't do 20,000 shares this time. I learned my lesson. I'll do 10,000 shares the most. I mean, trades like 150, 200,000 shares on average. So, or actually no, it doesn't. It trades like 400,000 shares on average. But yeah, it's just so thin. A lot of recent IPOs, and one of the reasons why there's so many names on the breakout watch list right now is that the market has been going sideways. So the market itself is flagging. So that's why there are so many flags on stocks also. So if the market breaks out, a lot of these names will break out with the market and vice versa. This NAK is flagging. I really think this thing can go to 4 or 5 or something. With a catalyst I've been talking about before. One of my earliest videos I talked about this one. So yeah. Okay, so today was another day of crap microcap stocks going nuts. So this Naked woke up out of the gate. I just went straight up. So there's 2 trades in it. Some kind of a weak open. I would be interested in it on the long side, and if it can like gap up and push and go to like 455 or whatever, I'll be looking for a setup on the short side if there will be shares available at my brokers. PNTC, another one. It's gapping down, or it was gapping down in after hours because it's dually listed. Again, I think the same scenario. If it opens weak, I'll be willing to test it on the long side, otherwise on the short side if it goes nuts. PULM, now this was just no shares to short. You know, I was looking at it real time. You know, I was, you know, when it cracked out of this range here midday, I was like, yeah, I would have shorted it if I had shares, but I was just looking at it and was frustrated. I didn't have any shares, and if I would have had shares, I would probably holding most of them overnight, because this thing is probably gonna fade back to sub 4 or something. But today, you know, if there are shares available short, a push to mid-high 5s would be awesome to get an entry. Nugget, I talked about this one. I bought the opening range highs, got out, stopped out at the opening range lows, and that was that. No follow through. Pixelworks, I talked about this one. AUPH setting up nicely on 60-minute chart and on the daily. Could very easily have another leg up, especially with all these small biotechs and yeah, these small names running. FNMA, I've been long this thing for a while now. So yesterday, Mnuchin passed the Senate vote for Secretary of Treasury, and the Mnuchin is very good for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and all of those things. Maybe it pops today. If it doesn't, well, I'm just using this 406 area as my stop. Dries, I did trade it yesterday when it went red. Actually, before it went red, I only did half size. I only did tiny 10,000 shares. I was just distracted with other stuff, so I missed the ad on it, but it went red and just absolutely tanked. It went red, and there was just, I was hoping for a little bit more pops to add to full size, but I covered about half on the way down, and then I just covered the other half here. I wasn't paying attention, so it popped like 30 cents or something like that. I'm like, okay, I don't want this thing to go green with me short, so I was up nearly 5 figures on it. I ended up making about 5,600 on it. So Kala, I realized 1,400, another 6,500 unrealized. PTLA woke up. Again, this is not my real PNL, and this is just the previous day's closing price. So this is just a change in PNL yesterday, not my real PNL. Again, ICHR, really nice, woke up. I added to my position. PTLA went up. ETRM, I want to talk about this one. So I bought it. Let's see here. Here it is. Here's the open. Yeah, so I bought it on the washout at 759. I bought, I think I had 4,000 shares or something like that. I didn't get filled on all of my shares. So it instantly spiked like 60 cents. So I was up well over 2,000 on it. I didn't see it. So I looked back, the stock was here. I'm like, God damn it. So I just sold it on the next pop for break even. Ended up making $100 on it. And then shopped around for a couple of hours, then it woke up and pushed green, and then it faded back, and well, just I wasn't looking at it at all, because I thought the edge was out of the gate on the washout, and it stopped me out. So let's see. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, Nugget was my main loser, lost 2,400 on it. Twilio was, well, I'm down on it. I took a bit of a loss on the position from yesterday. I had this ultra tight stop on it. So, and then I added back, and yeah, I'm down on that a little bit, especially in after hours. yesterday. It looks like it's gapping down like 20 cents or so in after hours. Okay, that's it.